Welcome back. I'm here at the round table in Guelph. I am hibernating in through my extension of quarantine here, working at the shop to clean things up, renovate the store, and get things going, ready for the next opportunity to open this place and make it work. I've also been dealing with some Magic sales and stuff, curbside pickup if people are still looking to pick up packs, pre-order a Cory or whatever. The information is all written below. This is the Pack One Pick One series that we're starting out. I hope you guys enjoyed the first two. I also realized that Modern Masters 2013 and 2017 packs that I opened, I have two new webcams and I had the plastic still on them, so it was a bit hazy. But I've taken those plastic off. Unfortunately, I can't Pack One Pick One those again. But as you can see, I have the results of the Pack One Pick One, Pack One Pick Two, and some of the value cards. What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue with picking cards as if in two ways. One, it's going to be in a vacuum. We're going to do in a vacuum as if I was picking this fresh from my first pack. And secondly, we're going to pick it as a if we were to continue this draft as if these cards were part of my draft pod. So I've opened Modern Masters 2013 and 2017. I don't have as many 2015 to open, so I'm sorry. But if this was my third pack in the Pack One Pick One, we're going to go with Ultimate Masters. Lots of value. I'm eating the store's profitability by just eating up all of my old inventory. The good news is I have a lot of Ultimate Masters and Modern Masters 2017, and I have a decent amount of 2013. If you're interested in buying some premium old school packs simply to open and grind for fun and maybe get some EV, they're expensive, but it's totally worth it. We will definitely make sure you get some curbside pickup if you'd like. In the meanwhile, let's break into Ultimate Masters Pack One Pick One. In the previous two videos, I really hope you guys are interested in giving me some advice. I'm not a seasoned Magic drafter. I'm a player. I play Pioneer. I don't play competitive Tier 1 and Tier 2 decks as often. I tend to play Tier 3 thematic decks, outlier decks that are fun to play. I'm obsessed with Knights, for those of you that don't know. And I've been trying to make Knights work since the Bingaman days, back when I played when Limited was a thing. So, and 1.5 was a thing. So, Pack One Pick One, Ultimate Masters. Let's crack this bad boy open. Pack's a little looser than the other ones, but I liked Ultimate Masters. At first, I was a little worried about how it was going to play out, but I'm actually, ultimately, I'm happy with how it turned out. Okay, so, we'll get rid of this Fairy Rogue token, put it aside, and these ones are backwards, I think, so we're going to get to the rare sooner. So, Deranged Assistant. Not a bad little card. It's a two cost, one draw, or 1/1 2 drop. Yeah, it's a bit of a mill card that allows us to get extra colorless mana, so it's got a bit of ramp to it. I don't see the synergy in it with the previous build, but in a vacuum, it's something that I'm hoping will pass around. Ooh, Engineered Explosives. Look at that bad boy. Engineered Explosives. Well, major value, super bomb, useful in almost any category. So that is pretty much going to get my Pack One Pick One unless I draw something insane. I'm going to pretend I'm not drafting for value because, I mean, it's not really a true Pack One Pick One if I'm just drafting for value, which we do when we do Chaos Drafts here in the store. Chaos Drafts has got a pretty good community. People love buying old packs, drafting for value, and just having fun with the decks that we make. It's usually pretty janky, fun stuff. In this case, I'm going to pretend this is a more serious draft. That's still a card I want to take. I mean, it's expensive for a reason, because it's a bomb. So, it's a phenomenal removal. Wow, Engineered Explosives. So, Vengeful Rebirth. Bit of an expensive card, but you get to return a card from your graveyard to your hand. If it's an online card this way, it deals damage equals to the converted mana cost. Not good with Engineered Explosives, but decent if you're going to play big, heavy Gruul decks that have big, heavy casting cost creatures. So that's pretty good. Chainer's Edict. Damn. Target player sacrifices a creature with flashback. So black removal, 2-drop, black removal, sorcery. Excellent turn 2. Get rid of that disgusting stuff. Great turn 3 and 4. When they start playing their mediocre bombs, you can just get rid of it. And because it's sacrifice, it gets past a whole bunch of stuff. Protections, indestructibility. The downside to this is, if they got a Saproling in play and a big dragon or something, they're going to sacrifice the Saproling. So you got to time it right. But the flashback is sweet. So Chainer's Edict is an interesting piece. We'll put that aside here. Urban Evolution. We've seen this in the previous pack, which was draw 3 cards. You may play an additional land this turn. Pretty good if I'm going to play in Simic colors. So I'll put that aside. Think Twice. Love this card. Used to play it in my Esper Modern deck. Think Twice is a phenomenal, easy, quick cycle through your deck thing. This is definitely one of the cards I want to pick if I decide to play in blue. Wingsteed Rider, 3-drop 2/2 with Heroic. You have to be able to target it. So if I'm going to play some sort of Boros thing where I'm going to be pumping things like a feather kind of deck, Wingsteed Rider is not a bad call. It's also a human knight, so immediately my heart, and it's on a Pegasus, so my desires thematically want this card. Not necessarily a pack one pick one, not over Engineered Explosives. I mean, it's a bomb removal card, and Engineered Explosives it's a great way to wipe the board. Bloodflow Connoisseur, sacrifice a creature, put a +1/+1 on Bloodflow Connoisseur. Not a bad. Okay, so that's a great card playing in black. Let's keep that aside for now. Prey Upon, excellent. If I'm playing any green Stompy or any Simic or Dimir or in this case Gruul, Prey Upon is an amazing removal card. Mainly because green has creatures that are really big butt size and really big full front side that you can use Prey Upon effectively as removal while smashing through your opponent's walls. Prey Upon and Chainer Edict suddenly make me think about playing the green-black combination. I think that that's a possibility if I were pack one pick one, because I've got 2 sick uses of removal there. Odds are they're not going to wheel, though, so I shouldn't bank on it. But this is an interesting combination already in total. So yeah, we'll see. Staunch Hearted Warrior. A 2/2, 4-drop, expensive. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Staunch Hearted Warrior, put +1/+1 counter on it. With Prey Upon, that's not a bad little combination. Plus, it's a 2/2 for 4, so that's not really curve happy. But we'll put that aside. We've got a bit of a deck theme going on here. Man of the Unhallowed. Okay, so it is a 4-cost sorcery. Create 2 zombie creatures, and it has flashback. This is pretty good. This is not a bad little go wide kind of card. For 4 mana, not the worst for 2/2 zombies. Kind of worth it. If I'm going to play Chainer Edict or Bloodflow Connoisseur, because I can sacrifice a creature and put a +1/+1 counter on it, this gives me some sacrificable creatures, gives me some blocking power that I can then sack to the Connoisseur. Not bad. I think we're going to go that route. I can also Prey Upon, deal 2 damage, wipe a zombie out, and kill one of your more threatening 2/3s or 2/2s or 3/1s or whatever you got. Repel the Darkness. Tap up to 2 target creatures. Not a bad little cantrip. If I'm going to play in white, that's the case. I haven't seen much white support in these things. Raid Bombardment. Whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less attacks, Raid Bombardment deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker that creature is attacking. Not bad. In fact, so in a vacuum, meh. Okay, if this is where I'm going to go. If I'm going to go for the tiny guys and go heavy, it could be a pack 2 with my Engineered Explosives. But reality states that if I'm picking here, I'm going to take Engineered Explosives first, no matter what. That's my pack one pick one. I can't think of anything else here that is going to be something of value. That this is just global removal. It's insane. But if I were to pack 2, I got choices now, and my choices, if I'm going to keep going with the theme of these guys, I'm going to go for Raid Bombardment, because with Goblin Guide, Sudden Shock, and Kira, now I've got something moving, and I can attack, because so far the creature power I have in that deck are 2 or less. And in the previous videos, most of the creatures were 2/1s and 1/2s. So now I've got a bit of if I can get Raid Bombardment out, we're going to get going. And I can fish for it with Think Twice. A lot of flashback. Even Deranged Assistant can help me get there by milling stuff and giving me the extra mana and getting a 1/1 on the board that can do some damage. But if I'm not going to... So I think universally everyone's going to agree Engineered Explosives is my pack one pick one. In a vacuum, I don't know where I'd go next. There's some interesting stuff here. If this was pack one pick one and I was in a vacuum, I don't know. I think I would continue going toward... I mean, the Dimir Guildmage is kind of a bomb. Target player draws a card. Target player discards a card. I mean, it's a 2/2 for 2. Not bad. And I can play with decks, and I can play with people's decks and stuff. It's got draw power. It's a bit expensive. Odds are I would assume that this is gonna wheel if that's the case. Maybe this will wheel, in which case I'd pick that. Chainer Edict, if it came around, I'd pick for removal. So now I've got two removals in my package. The Dimir Guildmage is something I would probably pick if I was going, man, I don't even know. I think this would be my pick if I'm going to continue my cool deck choices here. So I'm going to put the Engineered Explosives over here with the rest of the pile. That's a pretty cool little deck. I mean, it's got removal, it's got defense, it's got some haste punch in your face, some hate bear feel. It's got direct damage, unavoidable direct damage with sudden shock. And then as I keep going, the Think Twice would be good in there. Yeah, I mean, so far these packs have been super... Well, Resurrection's pretty good. If I'm going to play white, Resurrection's pretty good. I've got my delay tactics. I've got my ability to deal to get in there with flying. I've got my Resurrection if I've got anything I need to bring back. Green has got some good support this time around. Staunch-Hearted Warrior and Prey Upon become beneficial because I target Staunch-Hearted Warrior, gets a +1/+1 counter. I now have more versatility in what I can fight. So yeah, what would you guys pick? What are your pack one pick ones on this pack? It's an interesting pack to say the least. But I think my choices are clear. Definitely Engineered Explosive as the first pack one pick one. If you have any agreements on that one, let me know. If you think what I've built in these three packs so far, I'm going to pull back the other cards just to show you. So if I were to continue with that deck, I would try and go for the Azure Mage. I'd go the Ghostly Flicker, the Scorched Rascala, Ethereum Sculptor I tried to get. Petals of Insight is interesting. Get that flicker out of there for you. I would be gunning for, I don't know what else. I'd probably get a bunch of chaff throw away from that pile, from the previous one. I would be gunning for Think Twice, Raid Bombardment, maybe the Guild Mage, a Deranged Assistant, and the rest would kind of just be... At this point, I think I obviously don't have enough between the three packs to make a deck, so I would have to start splashing. I'd have to splash a third color, and my third color choice would be black. Because then I would definitely have what is needed to Mortician Beetle, Falcon Wrath Noble. The Moroi suddenly becomes valuable. I got that guy still. Mind Funerals if I really want to just rip your deck apart. Dampen Thought to keep it going if I need to. Siphon Life if I'm delving into black. Worm Harvest maybe. But now I've got a bit of a deck. If I could get all these cards, I would have a bit of a deck to play with. And I'd be able to start building. Let's just say in a vacuum that I got all those cards. I mean, do I have enough creatures to make it happen? I don't know. Let's see what our curve would look like here. I got two there. Another 2. A lot of 2s. Bigger creature, not so useful. 4. 4. 1. Not bad for the curve. 3. Here we go. Now we're seeing our curve build out. But I mean, odds are... I mean, that's just one pack, right? This is just one pack. Odds are, if these 3 packs were drafted and in the same round, I mean, my picks are pretty obvious. So, yeah, that is my Pack 1 Pick 1 series for 3 rounds of drafting. Not a bad round so far. I mean, value-wise, I think I've EV'd, it's called, estimated value. I think I valued out. I got what I needed. I don't think there's any more value in those cards. But if you guys like what you saw, let me know. Feel free to comment. I really want to know what you guys think about my draft choices and if my Pack 1 Pick 1s make sense. And I'm going to open up another pack next, and we're going to keep going. Let's just keep going in this series until I'm done the Master stuff. I think next up, another Master set. See you soon.